I wrote it. No, I am excited to be here. First, I want to thank you for coming out on a Saturday afternoon. This is where it starts, right here. We all know Washington's a mess. We all know we live in a great state. It is the #1 place in the country to do business, and I'm proud to be from that state. And I'm bragging about it when I travel. I was in Washington this week, telling them, you know what? We have a balanced budget law in the state of Georgia. It works. We have citizen legislators in the state of Georgia. They work. You know, we just passed one of the most comprehensive gun bills in the country this year. It works. Okay. What we don't have working right now is Washington. I just want to tell you how humbled I am to be your nominee for the United States Senate from Georgia. I'm not the same person I was a year ago, trust me. This is a long process and a tough process. And Jack and I have beat each other's brains out over the last 9 weeks, it seems like, but we are in a great place. And that's what this democracy is all about. Now, we'll all argue about a 9-week runoff. I don't want anybody to go through that again. But I'll tell you, I met with Jack this week, I talked to him last week, and we've both been saying the right things. And that is, and he said it in the primary, I said it as well, this is bigger than me. It's bigger than Jack. It's bigger than us. This is about our country, our future, and our children and grandchildren. And therefore, Jack and I are shoulder to shoulder right now. You should rest assured that there is absolutely nothing past today in our background that's going to keep us from beating Michelle Nunn in the small. You know, I have a lot of respect for Michelle Nunn. I respect her. I respect her work. I respect her family. She's just on the wrong team. I'm serious. You know, she's going to try to make us believe that she's kind of like us. Didn't we hear that in 08? Didn't we hear it again in 12? Yeah, I kind of remember the Camelot days, right? Look where we are now. I'll tell you this. We just saw a glimpse into the mindset of their strategists. You seen it? Yeah. Their #1 objective is to spend $37 million. Is their estimate? Somebody said they get $37 million to do that. And the #1 thing they want to do is deceive you from understanding what she really believes. That's what their mission is in this entire campaign. We're not going to let that happen. She will not be able to defend the record of this failed administration. Bonnie and I got in this race because we have a mess in Washington. And I'm going to fight until our last breath to make sure that we do not give Harry Reid another vote in the United States. The decision in this race is really pretty simple. All Republicans are going to line up. Now, you know, I'm saying that as an assumption this year. And the reason is, we've learned our lesson, John. We've learned our lesson. We have President Obama. We should have President Romney. Yeah. Right? Let's don't let that happen again. It starts right here, right now. This race is a watershed race in this cycle around the country. I was just up there. I saw the other candidates. You would be extremely proud of the people Republicans are putting up right now for Senate races as opposed to a few years ago. I mean, I feel like an underachiever among that crowd. They are really sharp people, and they're going to win. The table is set. This administration is a failed administration, and I'm going to prosecute that like nobody else can. The table is set for the Republican Party to take the United States Senate. We've got to do that to not waste another 2 years. Look what's going on right now. Executive orders. This president's creating an executive presidency. We've got to stop it. The way to do that is win this, the Senate right now. There are 2 races the Democrats really want. This is one, and Kentucky's the other. They're not going to win either one. As a matter of fact, because of Obamacare, Dodd-Frank, EPA, the border, foreign policy, our energy debacle, and oh, by the way, this disaster called Obamacare, the table's set for us to take it back. Yeah. Well, what could keep us from doing that? Yes. How do you do that? You know, to me, it's very simple. You know, if you're as outraged as I am by the size and scope of this government, by the amount of money they take from our pocket, by the excuses they give us for not securing our borders, by the amount of debt they're putting on the backs of your kids and grandkids, then I'm asking you today to do 3 things. One is trust me. I'm your nominee, and I'm going to work hard to make you proud because we're going to win this thing together, but I can't do it alone. Bonnie and I can't do it together. I've got to help you. The second thing is I'm going to ask you to stand with me. Stand with us. me behind me. Governor Deal and I talked about this. We need you beside us. Just like in the Revolutionary War, those guys walked into battle side by side, shoulder to shoulder. They took care of the person in front of them. Your neighbor, your church, your family, your grocery store people you run, anybody you run into, you've got to get them out the vote because we determine our own future in this state right now. About 15% are independents, I guess. I think that's pretty close to being about right. And they lean our way. Romney won over 60% of them in the last election. They want to be with us. So let's get back to our roots. Let's stop squabbling about the details. Here's what I think. We stand for economic opportunity, fiscal responsibility, and limited government. But you got to go back a few years, and we got away from that at the federal level. You're going to hear me fight for three things. It's very simple. In my business background, and Gary talks about this in farming, you pay attention to the crisis issues better. Right now, we've got a crisis, and the way out of here is three things. One, we have got to fix our tax code, period. I'm not talking about tax simplification of 1986. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fair tax. The second thing, this president has created the fourth arm of government. He has the regulators. He has bypassed Congress. They couldn't get cap and trade, so he told the EPA to kill coal, and my goodness, they did within 1 year. We've got to stop that. That's Congress's responsibility, and I'm going to fight to push those guys back and get them off the backs of our small business so we get going again and hire people and put them back to work, period. The third thing, and this is probably I just don't understand why this president's not doing this. We have a God-given boom in natural resources, in energy. In any economy, one of the precepts for growth is great workers and great cheap energy. And right now we've got one, we're working on the other in this state particularly. But energy we could be the cartel of the next 100 years. You and I have been beneficiaries of living in a country that's experienced the greatest boom, economic boom, in the history of humankind over the last 60 years. We really have. And what have we done with it? Household debt is 90%. Our federal debt's over 100% of our federal economy. That doesn't talk about the future unfunded benefit or unfunded liabilities that are coming at us.